ああ、なんというみすぼらしい子供だ。かわいそうに。生まれてきたこと自体がかわいそうだ。
Yo, what is up, guys? Shams is back here. Now, this time we're going to be reviewing Volume 15 of Demon Slayer. Now, this cover has Gyomei Himejima on the front cover, aka the rock pillar of the Demon Slayer corpse, and I've been wondering what this dude can do for a long time, you know. He's always crying and he seems very religious, but I know he's going to be one of the strongest Hashiras. I just got a feeling about it now. We left off in Volume 14 where Tanjiro, Nezuko, Genya, Tokido, and Kanroji are on the village of hidden swordsmiths. Now, the upper rank 4 and upper rank 5 demons were there, but my man Tokido was a beast and he defeated Gyoko all by himself. So now we just gotta worry about the upper rank 4 demon Hantengu, and so they end up finding the real body of Hantengu, and the real body is a really small, puny-sized figure. The kanji on his tongue says the word coward on it, and that's exactly how he acts. He's always running away from him, and Tanjiro, Genya, and Nezuko are trying to chase this man. You got Genya being wild and throwing trees at the man. Nejiro's trying to slash him. What's interesting is that Tanjiro's left leg was hurt, so he wasn't able to move to chase down Hantengu. That's when he thought about Zenitsu and Thunder Breathing, because Thunder Breathing users put a lot of emphasis on their legs, so Zenitsu told Tanjiro that in order to master total concentration, you gotta pretty much circulate air throughout every muscle in your body. That's how they're able to put emphasis on their leg muscles. Well, Tanjiro was able to do that, so this man pretty much used a burst of speed and pretty much approached Hantengu. Now, this was pretty dope, you know. This doesn't mean that Tanjiro's gonna be doing cool Thunder Breathing moves, because Thunder Breathing and using the forms of Thunder Breathing are two different things, you know. Tanjiro's pretty much learning how to circulate the air throughout his body to pinpoint the muscles that he needs. Well, forms of Thunder Breathing are a completely different thing, you know. That takes a lot of training to do. So Tanjiro used pretty much a burst of speed move at Hantengu to pretty much slice the man's head off. Well, I don't know what Hantengu's skin is made out of, but Tanjiro still wasn't able to cut it. You know, the sword went deep in, but it still wasn't able to finish the job. This actually makes Hantengu angry, and he actually grows his body and grabs Tanjiro by the mouth and shoulders. So props to Genya and Nezuko for coming in clutch. Nezuko was able to burn Hantengu with her fire, and Genya pretty much grabbed Hantengu's two arms and ripped them out of his body. So Hantengu's pretty much running away, you know, arms ripped off. Tanjiro's katana still in his neck, and he's looking for people to eat because from the last volume, Kanroji is fighting his hate copy, so that actually makes Hantengu regenerate a lot slower. So he finds these two innocent swordsmiths to eat. But a clutch moment happens right now. This man Tokido throws his katana at Tanjiro because Tanjiro doesn't have one, and this is pretty cool because a couple of volumes ago, Tokido didn't trust Tanjiro at all, and he actually looked down upon him saying, you know, you're weak, you're a waste. So there's a lot of character development that happened within Tokido. So my man Tanjiro picks up Tokido's katana and he does this move called Dancing Flash, and this move looks so badass right here. Like, look at the pose on this finishing move right here. Tanjiro was able to cut off this man's head. So just when I start to get happy, you know, I'm thinking the heroes won the fight, this man Hantengu was still moving with his headless body. Now, I'm thinking upper rank or all demons, when their head gets cut off, you know, that's how they get defeated. But nope, this man is still lunging at the two swordsmiths to eat, and it's pretty dangerous because Tokido, Genya, they're on top of a cliff, so they can't do anything, and the sun's starting to break out. So this puts Nezuko in a huge amount of danger. You know, the sun's starting to come up, and we see pretty much Nezuko's skin start to crumble, and this kind of worries me because we've never seen Nezuko in this state up to this part of the manga. So Nezuko's too adorable. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. Tanjiro pretty much has to make a decision to save the two swordsmiths from Hantengu, or pretty much to save his little sister from being burned away by the sun. So Tanjiro chooses to pretty much help Nezuko out. So he's covering her body, pretty much trying to give her shade from the sun, but Nezuko does something completely unexpected. She pretty much kicks this man to where the swordsmiths are, and what's funny is that Nezuko kicks him with the right leg. I don't think I've ever seen Nezuko use her left leg at all. She always kicks with the right leg. So she kicks Tanjiro away to where the swordsmiths are. So we see Nezuko's skin start to burn up, and then my mind is going, no way, this cannot be happening. You know, we still got more volumes to review. This can't be the end of Nezuko. If it is, I would be like extremely sad because everyone loves Nezuko, but Tanjiro's extremely pissed off. He's starting to cry. Tears are coming out of his eyes. The marks are coming on his skin. Tanjiro is heated right now. And what I love about Tanjiro is that with his sense of smell, he can pretty much smell the weaknesses in his opponents. We pretty much discovered that the real body is inside that headless Hantengu, but it's actually in the heart of that body. So Tanjiro does one more epic move at Hantengu, and this time this dude is done. You know what enemy is defeated when their backstory starts to happen, and with Hantengu, his backstory wasn't that deep, you know. It's pretty much about how in the past, during his human form, he used to commit a lot of murders and theft, and they were going to behead him, but he got lucky and Muzan pretty much saved him from being beheaded. So his backstory wasn't that deep, but I don't feel sorry for this demon at all, you know. Gyutaro and Daki had a sadder backstory than this one, but they're demons at the end of the day. I don't really care about them. They deserve what they get. So Tanjiro did an epic move to finish him off, and it's so cool seeing Tanjiro get better with his sun-breathing moves. This dude's going to be so overpowered in the future. I can see it. So pretty much Hantengu is gone, you know, the sun's out. But the sad thing is, Tanjiro is just bawling in tears right now because we all think that Nezuko is gone right now, you know. Tanjiro is pretty much on the ground right now, but this is where the most interesting thing in the story happens, you know. We see Nezuko appear, you know, unharmed, looking happy, her mouthpiece is off. So this means that Nezuko has the ability to conquer the sun pretty much now. This is pretty crazy, you know. I did not expect this to happen, you know. Nezuko is actually the chosen demon, you know. She's the first demon in pretty much 1,000 years that has this ability to conquer the sun, you know. None of the upper moon demons were able to do this, so this thing right here changes everything. She approaches Tanjiro and the swordsmith and she says the words good morning or something, but she has the ability to speak also, you know. This is like a big what the F moment with Nezuko right now because this is hella mind-blowing right now because this is going to make Muzan go crazy. Now let me talk about this man Muzan really quick. You know, during his younger days, I believe he was in his younger 20s, he was dying of a certain illness and he was only getting worse, and this physician was pretty much trying to heal this man. So he turned Muzan into a demon hoping it will make him get better. Well, Muzan was still getting worse, and off of pure anger, he just kills this physician. The funny thing is that Muzan actually got a little better after this, so he wanted to continue from the physician's research, and in order to continue, he would have to find this flower called the blue spider lily, you know. It can turn into a medicine, and he believed that it would give him immortality so he can conquer the rays of the sun. So he's been turning pretty much people into demons for like 1,000 years, you know, trying to help him find intel on this blue spider lily, and nothing was able to work at all. So he pretty much turned people into demons when he didn't want to, but him learning that Nezuko has the ability to conquer the sun changes everything, you know. He pretty much doesn't have to go through with this blue spider lily plan anymore, and all he has to do is ingest her, and that'll work too. So Nezuko is the chosen demon right now, and Muzan is going to go to war after her, you know. I just know it, you know. There's going to be a big war going on, and Nezuko is going to be right in the middle. Even Tamayo and Hashira pretty much discovered this capability in Nezuko because they're doing research on her blood right now. And if you guys don't remember who they are, they come along during the early episodes of season 1 and they give Tanjiro a clue on how Nezuko can pretty much get her humanity back. Yo, this reveal is just crazy right now, and I'm just happy that the fight is over, you know. Everyone pretty much regroups together, you know. Tanjiro, Nezuko, Genya, Tokido, even Kanroji comes, and everyone's just happy that the battle is over. You see a smile on Genya's face. This is the first time that I ever seen this man smile before, so I really want to see more of Genya and also his brother, the Wind Hashira Sanemi. I want to see more of what these two brothers can do because they're beasts. So everyone's pretty much recovering right now at the Demon Slayer Corpse, and with the village of swordsmiths, you know, they have other vacant locations that they can relocate to, so they end up doing that because swordsmiths are needed in this anime and manga. All the Hashira that are left are pretty much gathering in a meeting right now because they know Muzan is about to go to war for Nezuko, and this thing pretty much changes everything. And they also want to talk about an interesting thing that happens to people, you know. I know you guys have been seeing it, but when things happen, markings start to appear for certain characters in the show, you know. Tanjiro, Tokido, and Kanroji, they were able to get these markings on their bodies, so they're more curious about how to obtain these markings, and the only thing that they know is that when one person gets the marking and they're around other people, those people can get markings also. So that's the only info they got about how to get these markings. So they pretty much want to do this training on how to get these markings. So the Hashira are pretty much in a meeting together, you know, discussing how they're going to train to get this mark. And it's interesting to see how all the Hashira interact with each other, especially Tomioka, because this dude barely speaks. And when he gets up and tries to excuse himself, Tsunemi, aka the Wind Hashira, doesn't like this. So this dude gets up to try to attack Tomioka. Now, this is where the Stone Pillar, aka Gyome, gets up, and all he does is pretty much claps his hands together like this, and this pretty much shakes up the whole building, what it looks like, and an aura goes around him, and this gets the attention of all the Hashira, you know. I don't know how strong this dude is, but he looks hella powerful, and he's very religious, and he has a lot of sympathy for others, you know. He has some interesting phrases that he says, and I just know this dude's gonna be a beast, and I can't wait to see what this man can do. And it's funny too, because this man is in tears all the time. That's how I know he's gonna be strong. Tanjiro's still recovering from his fight with Hantengu, and his swordsmith Haganezuke comes in and he gives him a brand new katana. Well, the cool thing about this katana is that the hilt for it belongs to Rengoku. So Tanjiro has a new katana, but he has Rengoku's hilt to it too. So you know Tanjiro's gonna go ham with it. And there's a kanji or a symbol on this katana that says slay. And this thing was designed for killing all types of demons, you know. This is pretty cool because I know Tanjiro's gonna do some damage with it. So the Hashira training finally starts, and everyone ranked below Hashira are involved with this training. Usually Hashiras just train one apprentice, but with the demons, their activity completely stopped after Muzan figured out Nezuko can conquer the sun. So this gives Hashiras more time to train. And we finally see my man Tengen Uzui, aka the Sound Pillar, come back. You know, he's retired, but he's involved in this Hashira training, and it's just interesting seeing the man, you know, he has his eye patch covering his eye, you know, his arms cut off, he has a different outfit, his wives are helping out with the training too, but it's nice to see Uzui again because, you know, that Red Light District arc is still my favorite arc out of everything, pretty much. You know, with this training, my man Uzui's doing physical fitness training, the Love Pillar, aka Kanroji's doing flexibility, Tokido, the Mist Hashira, is doing high-speed movement, Oganai, the Snake Pillar, is doing swordsmanship, and Tsunemi, the Crazy Wind Hashira, is doing infinite strikes, and the Stone Pillar is doing strength training. So there's pretty much levels to this type of training that they're doing. Pretty much all the Hashira are training people except for one person. That one person is Tomioka, aka the Water Hashira, you know. He's been really distant lately. You know, this dude Tomioka barely speaks, and this man Tanjiro had to be persistent and follow this man pretty much for 4 days straight before we finally seen some words come out of his mouth, you know. This dude is pretty much upset that Tanjiro hasn't become the Water Hashira yet, because Tanjiro's been learning some other breathing moves, you know, his sun breathing moves and his total concentration with the thunder breathing. So this made Tomioka upset, but you know, Tomioka, you're the Water Hashira, but we figure out that he actually feels guilty. So we learned that Tomioka, the Water Hashira, during his final selection days during the Demon Slayer Corps, he had a friend named Sabato, and this time they were around 13 years of age, so they were really young, and Sabato was a beast, and his hair was colored like flesh, and he had this scar on his cheek, and this man killed nearly all the demons during that final selection day, and he was the only one that didn't pass. Well, he didn't pass because this man pretty much sacrificed himself. So Tomioka was struggling. He couldn't kill one demon while Sabato was a beast and he killed nearly all the demons. And he was doing that pretty much ended up losing his life. So Tomioka feels guilty because this man Sabato probably could have grew up to be a beast of a swordsman. And Tomioka was probably like, why couldn't they just taken me instead? But you're the Water Hashira. I've seen how you've taken out Rui pretty much with that dead silent water breathing move that you did during the season 1 anime. You're a beast. I don't care what you say. You deserve to be alive right now, and their dreams lives on through you, because he had pretty much an older sister that died sacrificing herself for Tomioka also. He had a sister that died pretty much the day before her wedding, so Tomioka feels a lot of burden in his life right now. You know, two people pretty much sacrificed themselves for him to live on. Well, you can't keep feeling guilty about this because you're a beast. You're pretty much living to the expectations that they had. You know, it's sad that we didn't see Sabato growing up. You know, he definitely would have been in the Demon Slayer course and been of Hashira, but You know, things happen for a reason. You know, Tomiyoko, I'm glad you're here with all the other Hashira. You know, you did some dope moves, and you're one of my favorites. And on a side note, I feel sorry for Ubuyashiki right now. He's pretty much the leader of the whole Demon Slayer Corps who all the Hashira report to. This dude is in a horrible condition right now, and he's not able to move, so I hope he feels better because, man, this dude looked like he's pretty much dying right now. While this was going on with Tanjiro and Tomiyoko, it pretty much transitioned to Shinobu and Kanao, and so we learned that Shinobu had a sister named Kanae, and she's pretty much talking with Kanao on how they're going to defeat the demon that killed her sister, so I'm really interested to see what those two are got planned in the future, you know. I didn't see that much of Kanao fighting yet, but she might be a beast, who knows, and we already seen what Shinobu can do with her poison abilities. Now back to Ubuyashiki, you know, the leader of the Demon Slayer Corps, you know, him being the leader, you know his crow is going to be extremely special. Well, his crow pretty much went to Tamayo, the person that was doing research on Nezuko's blood, and this crow is very intelligent and it has the ability to control people's eyesight. That's how he was able to find Tamayo. Now, the crow pretty much wants Tamayo to pretty much go to the Demon Slayer Corps to study along with someone else to learn more about Nezuko, and this makes Tamayo pretty nervous because it's a Demon Slayer Corps, they're against demons, and she's a demon herself if you guys don't remember, so everyone's pretty much serious about Nezuko right now. So Tanjiro's fully recovered now, so he's able to participate in the Hashira training, and he's pretty much able to go through Uzui, Kenroji, and Tokido pretty smoothly during their stages of the training, and it's when he gets to the Snake Pillar, aka Organized training, where it gets pretty hard now. Their training is based off swordsmanship, so they had to pretty much sword battle with each other with wooden swords, and the interesting thing is that the location was inside this room where a whole bunch of people were tied up, and Tanjiro wouldn't be able to hit one of these people, and this room was so crowded with tied up bodies. And now you're wondering, why the hell are all these people tied up in this room? Well, Oganai, the Snake Pillar, has an interesting personality. You know, he said they're pretty much all too weak, so they have to do their training with all these people tied up, and this man can do attacks and bend them in a way, kind of like he's a snake, you know. The Snake Pillar, he can curve his moves like a snake. Well, this was extremely difficult for Tanjiro, but he eventually got through it. Now, it's when he got to the Wind Hashira, aka Sanemi's training, where it got really interesting. Yo, Sanemi's training is hella crazy, and Tanjiro's pretty much overwhelmed just after the first day of training, you know. Tanjiro's pretty much in his room right now, and he overhears Genya talking to Sanemi, and Genya's trying to apologize to his brother, you know, for everything that's happened, but Sanemi, why are you like this? You know, you are crazy as hell. This man, Sanemi, wants to pretty much harm Genya in a way where he can't recover, so this man pretty much approaches Genya and, like, he sticks his two fingers out like he's trying to poke the man's eyes out. Well, my man Tanjiro pretty much interferes and pretty much saves Genya. With Tanjiro and Sanemi, the Wind Hashira, these two don't like each other at all. If you guys remember during the first season anime, they already had a bad encounter where pretty much Sanemi actually stabbed Nezuko because he didn't want a demon in the Demon Slayer Corps. So I don't think these two will ever like each other. So Tanjiro and Sanemi, the Wind Hashira, are pretty much clashing with each other right now. They're pretty much fighting, and props to Tanjiro because this man is taking some of his blows and he's landing some blows himself. You know, everyone watching the fight is surprised at what Tanjiro is doing. That's how you know Tanjiro improved a lot, where he's able to do some stuff to a Hashira. So pretty much their training gets suspended. They're not even able to pretty much approach each other at all. So Tanjiro's and Nits pretty much go to the Stone Pillars training, aka Guillaume. So they're pretty much headed to his training, and it's by a waterfall. So Tanjiro and Zenitsu, they actually find Inosuke training at the waterfall where everyone else is at, and I don't know what sort of training this Stone Pillar, aka Guillaume, is doing, but it must be intense training if they save this Hashira for the last. You know, this dude is doing his pretty much stance that he usually does with a big log over his shoulder, you know, standing on fire like it's nothing to him, and everyone else doing the training looks like they're struggling also, and this is where the volume ends. So it's going to be interesting seeing how they train along this guy. You know, this dude looks like a beast. I want to know what he can do. So this volume right here was so informative. I was actually nervous. I didn't know how to approach this video because so much information was being thrown at us, you know. But the biggest key moment, though, Nezuko being able to conquer the sun. And this just changes everything, you know. I don't know what Muzan's gonna try and do. You know, we still got the other upper rank demons too that I don't know what they're gonna plot to, but I want to see what the upper rank 1 and 2 demon can do. You know, I want to see what the stone pillar can do, the snake pillar, the wind Hashira. There's just so much information that was thrown at this chapter, but this is actually one of my favorites. You know, I love these chapters where you get a lot of information thrown at you. You know, I don't care about the action all the time, just a good story. But that was my review of Volume 15, and I can't wait to see what happens in Volume 16 because with this information overload right now, I just can't wait to see what happens, guys. Thanks for watching this video. You know, stay safe out there and peace. Guillaume style.